Omnipresence is the topic today. And the person that asked for it is even not in the call yet last week. So we'll start with what is omnipresence, at least from my perspective. And then we go into the system, how I create omnipresence, the flow, how to create omnipresence, and the results that I have achieved with it. I always talk in I perspective because then I can go more into details and share. It's not that I want to put myself into focus. It's just easier for me to share the examples and what works and doesn't work. Omnipresence. One of the things, I mean, some of you know that I've worked in large retail, and large retailers, at least when I was working there, always talked about how do you create omnipresence? How can you be everywhere in a physical environment, in a digital environment? And I was using the same thing when I looked into how do you build personal branding? How do you build thought leadership for yourself? And how do you position yourself? So I was looking into how do we build omnipresence when it comes to a digital landscape, specifically digital. But physical obviously is part of that. So I just give you an example now on my omnipresence. And some people are annoyed by it, but you can't literally get rid of me. So it doesn't matter which platform you log into, I'm there. And I'm everywhere consistently. Like top left is the business version, which is LinkedIn. Then the top bottom, I think that is X. No, what is it? Yeah, I think it's X, which is like the former Twitter. Then we have Instagram. We have what else do we have? Facebook, obviously. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I think that's the LinkedIn. And then podcasting platforms. YouTube is missing here as well. I was just grabbing a couple of screenshots. And the interesting part about that is that I use different content, but the same content. And what I want to establish that you literally can't get rid of me, because one of the things that I have seen from the people and businesses that I've analyzed, they are all everywhere. Not as strong, and I'm as well not as strong everywhere because things are different, and my personal brand is differently perceived if we take TikTok than on LinkedIn. But I still have people that are watching my videos on different platforms in different context. Maybe that's before I go into Andre's question. What is interesting, even if it's 100% the same content, like the video is the same video on TikTok than on LinkedIn, you as an individual, you go with a different mindset into TikTok. So when you're watching TikTok, you're not looking for business content. Or maybe you're looking for business content, but you're in a different mood than if you are looking on LinkedIn. And the same with the other platforms. So every platform for you is slightly different on the mood you're in. And even watching or consuming the same content has a different effect on you. And that's the interesting piece when you look at it from a commercial perspective. You're touching people in different situations, and sometimes it's the right situation, and sometimes it's not the right situation, or the right context, or not the right context. Andre, question.
Don't you ever feel like overwhelmed? I mean, it's too much being everywhere, because when you say omnipresence, it's like it's a lot. For me, it's scary to be on TikTok. It's
I mean, you don't have to.
I mean it
So for me, it's for the people that want to, I will show the system. And for the people that don't want to, you can pick and choose where you want to be. The system still works. It's just that you're not omnipresent then. Because some people are really exclusive. I only do LinkedIn, or I only do this, I only do that. What I just see for myself, I am also diversifying the risk in a way, long term. If you look, like Facebook was up, I don't know, let's say 10 years ago, Facebook was the leader of everything. Today, Facebook in the youngsters is not that important anymore. and TikTok is, or other platforms are. So it's also kind of every platform has a different curve on where they are on. And with that, you're getting attracting different people in your ecosystem. If you take TikToks as one of the youngest platforms, even the demographics in TikTok is growing into the older. It's not the 12-year-old anymore. So it's now a little bit more older audience, and then it's swapping over to adding more senior audiences. So for me, it's just something that I have seen with people who are doing this a long time. You're touching all different audiences and you're attracting them. And that's what I want to create for myself, at least.
So my next question, maybe it's further in your pitch, but
Yeah.
you let me know if it's the case, and I'll stop and we'll see there. But my next question is the why, of course. Why do you go everywhere? Because I mean, is it from an angle of I want like a sales angle? I'm opening doors to everywhere. You don't know where from a customer might come from, or it's like because you said diversifying, and diversifying is I want to tell my story in as many versions as possible. Where does this motivation? Why do you do it like that?
Yeah.
Why everywhere?
So for me, the whole thing, everything what I'm doing is one why. So I want to enable more people to get into positions in organizations so that they create impact. So I'm after impact. So for me, the impact that I'm creating with the people that I'm working with, I'm calling this, I'm connecting you to your dreams. So you want to grow in an organization in a leadership role, and I help you to be the best leader you can be, as an example. And through me helping you to be the best leader you can be, you will impacting a lot of other people's lives. If you're an entrepreneur and you're building a business, I'm helping you to impacting a lot of other people by helping you to build a business that is purpose driven and helps you to get out to a lot of people. So for me, the reason I want to be omnipresent is that as more people know about me, as more people I can impact. And yes, there's a sales like a component of that. As more people know about me, as more people want to work with me and want to give me money. And that's fine too. But it's not the purpose. That's maybe important. So that's at least for me the purpose. So I want to be omnipresent. I want to be everywhere so that I can create a bigger impact in what I want to drive towards. Faustin.
Yeah, just maybe to add an experience to what you just said. I mean, going back to my old days as a marketeer for multinational, we had what we called 360 degrees communication. But then to Jan's point, we're going in all platform because we're expecting to meet different type of consumers. And we believe that our product or our brand appeal to these consumer A, but consumer A doesn't go on LinkedIn. The consumer A only go on TikTok. So you will have to create a communication and a format that fits consumer A. And when consumer A go on TikTok, they go on the phone. So it has to be in a certain format that fit the phone, and the phone has to be vertical and not horizontal. So those type of things. So I can see the omnipresence here, but again, Andrea was right. I mean, I don't want to be everywhere. Yeah, then you choose where are your consumers, where are your clients, who are you targeting, and which platform are they going on, and which type of format do you want to go there. So that's the comment I wanted to add. Thank you.
Yeah. Good. So the system I use, I always explain this, but I go a little bit more into details today because when it comes to the system and the flow, details matter. So, and we talk about personal branding omnipresence, like not business, but though there are like commonalities. From a system perspective, everything starts with, like I just said, the why you have, and how do you bring your personal brand to life? How do you bring your personal values as the foundation of everything what you do. It's very important to understand there's a difference between, let's say, make it more clear, thought leadership and influencers. Influencers are only after clicks and are only after likes and comments. And they thrive on getting a lot of likes. For me, that doesn't matter. I'm after impact. I drive something where I'm into, if I help 5 people, I'm as happy if I'm helping 10 people. Of course, I want to help more people, but it doesn't matter if they like the post or not. So it's understanding your values, and then from your values, understanding what you are about, which is your why, and then building a clear brand for yourself as an individual that is linked to your business, if you have a business, or linked to what you do, but don't have to necessarily, because some people are just having a job which they're doing. It's not their mission, it's not what they love to do, it's just bringing them income. And some people want to be seen as thought leaders, want to create their own business, and they have a different purpose in doing that. But in the end, everyone has already a personal brand. It's just amplifying that and making it very clear and articulating that so that other people are understanding it. So that's the starting point. And then I always go into a personal hub, and that's part of my system. That's what I've analyzed a lot of people that are doing that successfully. Bringing your personal brand and everything into your personal website. Personal website. In my case, it's jensheitland.com. I rarely promote my businesses. I rarely share all the different business topics. I mean, topics, yes, but less my businesses. And the reason for that is that people are interested in people. If I am talking somewhere, I'm always putting my personal website on the slides. I'm not putting my company website or companies on the website. The reason for this is I want people to explore me. And through me, they will then, if they're interested in me, they will go to any of my businesses. If they're interested in the topic, because what I've seen, and it's growing right now extremely in this, people are interested in people. I mean, we just have seen the US election, like it or does not like it. You have seen how people are using the attention they're getting in certain ways. Some better, some less. But it's in the end, it's the personality. And bringing this into your own ecosystem, which you own, is the superpower. And that goes then into more technical terms. If we talk about Hub and your personal website, you are searchable in the internet. And even large language models, for those that are looking further ahead, are able to get your content. If you have your content on LinkedIn, like the influencers would do, or on TikTok, that's not visible to Google. That's not visible to large language models most of the time. So that's a key part of my system. And then obviously, how do I build a content production system that helps me to create value to the people that are engaging with it, amplifies my brand topics, but making that so easy that I don't need to do this every day. Because in my case, everyone thinks I'm not doing anything else than doing social media. But I spend a few hours per month only on social media. It's just the system that allows me to do that. So, and then going to build a distribution system that enables you to put this content out everywhere. And then for me, is strategies and tactics that generate leads to my business and then create the impact I'm after. So that's the system itself. Now we go level deeper, which is the flow. The flow in my system starts with video. And the reason for video comes next. But what I do is I do every day a 60-second video. I'm not producing every day a 60-second video, but I'm creating a library of videos that every day something goes out. Every day a 60-second video. Every week a longer form content. And that goes into the hub. And inside of the hub, in a block format, I use that as digital assets. So you have digital assets, which is audio, picture, text, and video formats. So from one video, I get everything. So now comes the German. efficiency, if I create a blog post written, I only have a blog post written. I can't create, I mean, you can today, but it's very hard and not nice. It's not yourself. Like you can create text to speech and then you have someone talking about the same thing you're doing. But it's not natural to audio. Same with the video. You can create videos with AI already based on a text format, but it's not working naturally. If you have a video, you can break it into audio and video automatically, and then you can create screenshots from the video, so you have pictures, and you can do a transcript and you have the text. So from an automation engine, and that's what I'm looking into, how do we do that something on scale with efficiency for yourself? That's what I have found to be the easiest way on creating that amount of content. And then that goes into the distribution, which is, in my case, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the different platforms on for podcasting, and then as well X, which is former Twitter. And that leads then into, in the end, to a lead capturing opportunity. So people, and that sounds really business and salesy, but in the end, people are engaging with my context and somehow we get in contact and get to know each other. And that literally happened with everyone here on the call. Without that, I ever sold something to you. Selling from, like, I'm taking money from you. And that's what you're doing. So you're creating relationships with people, and you give value to people. And some of the people want to get more value and they're paying for this. So when we talk about business, so that's the flow that I have used for my system to generate this omnipresence. And this is the flow in more visuals. It's a video, it's a blog post where we integrate all of the details, and then we are programming all of this into social media. And then the outcome is, this is just an example of my email newsletter sign up. So people are signing up to my newsletter and they're giving me permission that I'm sending my weekly newsletter to them. And with that, I have an entrance opportunity to create relations. I have an entrance opportunity to share more value. And for those people that are then someday in a situation where they think I'm the right person to help them, or any of the things that I'm doing, they will then engage with me. Or they know someone that needs help, and then they will tell, hey, maybe Jens or his company or whoever is maybe the right person to do that. Which then, going back to the impact I'm after, why do I do all of that? It creates impact, it helps people, and through that, I believe that we have a possibility in changing the society if we help. Like in my case, I want to help good people. I'm not helping people that I don't like. I don't help people that are only in it for the money. So one thing, when I work with people and companies the same way, if they're only after the money, I'm the wrong person to work with them. And my business is in the same way. Money is part of it, but it's not the most important. So results, just one example. And that's just one of the metrics that I care a little bit more about, is people on my personal website. So if that's just the distribution over this year. The interesting number is this. So unique visitors, 34,000 people are going to my personal website since 1st of January this year. And even that is not the most important number. The most important number is below this. It's 158% year on year. So what did I do different? Daily video. The only difference between this year and last year, I did the same system, but not with the daily video. That's the only difference. And November is lower because November is not over yet. So it's still going up, at least from an average perspective. The only thing that I did differently is the daily video. That's why I'm sharing this. Questions, discussion. Thoughts?
How much of your time does it actually take?
My time? You want to know?
Yeah, because you said you do it daily. And of course, we learned in the past that you plan it for how long.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So my world right now, 5 hours of my time for a whole month. But I have a team. So that's the difference. Like, I'm not cutting the videos. I'm not writing the social media posts anymore. But I've done all of it myself. Then it's a little bit more time. So I think you can do this with 15 to 20 minutes per day, which is still not much in my eyes.
Yep.
Then you edit your videos yourself, you're writing your blog posts yourself, you're writing your newsletter yourself, you're editing your website, everything. 15 to 20 minutes. Like if I would be forced to do it tomorrow myself, I could do it in, let's say 20-ish minutes.
Yes, 5 to 20 minutes. I mean, let's call it 5 hours, 5 intensive hours, right? So from 9 o'clock in the morning to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, intensive.
Yeah.
So you're busy. And then it goes in a hub, and then it operates every month or every day itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, for me, it's mainly what I do is I do research. I look at the numbers. I ideate. I put the context together, and I script the videos. And then I record the videos. And that's it. So that's when I drop the video file into a Dropbox folder, and the team takes care of it. And sometimes I'm involved in other steps afterwards, but that's right now my flow. Questions? And this, by the way, this is not much. I know
Okay.
other people that do way more.
So you reached the step about you reached the phase with 20 minutes per day, but how much was the initial investment of time? Do you remember? Can you estimate?
No, that's, of course, you need to learn how to edit videos. You need to learn how to do social media. I mean, this is years. Of course. But that's the beauty of a community like this. Everything of that is inside of the community. If you look into the 90 days step by step, the description I gave in this call is all there. I mean, I need to record more videos and explain it step by step, but in the end, everything is there, except video editing, because that's really specific to the tool you use. So you can save at least half the time that I used.
Yes, just to follow up on that Andrea's question, if you take those years and you give a time to it, what investment did you make to become, let's say, communicate ready?
I mean, everyone is able to communicate. It's just, are you omnipresent? If we go back to the topic of today, I think if you start today, I would give you a year without zero knowledge. Like you need to be able to work with a computer, but I'm pretty sure you get to a certain level where this works. I mean, maybe Christian, share a little bit. You have started with at least with videos lately.
Well, it depends. Initially, you're super slow. You don't know the tool. Well, I'm speaking about myself. I'm actually not reading any manual. I take a look at the tool and then I try to understand what it's doing. So you could be faster if you actually read what you're doing and how to use it. I do it on the fly, which has some back and forth. Anyway, so speaking about videos, the recording time is actually pretty fast, right? So if you want to have a 60-second video, you basically need no more than 2 minutes of recorded time, to cut it down and to edit it, to remove all the R's and S's and whatever. And then you need some time to do the editing. You need some time to do the, let's say, optimization of audio and video, and then whatever tool you use, you need some time to run the subtitles, the captions. They kind of get produced automatically, but specifically if you use tools that are more or less focused on English language, if you use another language, you really need to go through the text that has been generated, because it's maybe not the best and everything. So you need to go through it and edit that as well, but you get really fast at this. So basically, per video, you use 4 or 5 times the length of the initial recorded video, because you have to go through it more than once. Yeah, so it's the video, I guess, is 15 to 30 minutes. Creating content depends on how you think and how you do it. If you're a person who needs to have everything in written before and also written in speech style, it's taking more time. If you just use keywords and then do the video, you're getting faster. But you need to find your own style, because not everybody is made for coming up with things on the fly. You might get lost, you might completely lose track and have no kind of common thread throughout your video, but you need to try. So this, it's you get used to it, and you get better, you get faster, and you come up with new ideas on the fly as well. The more often you do it, the more topics will come. So it's a matter of optimization of your time. I thought I would use half a day per video. That's for sure not true. Initially, maybe it's 1.5 hours. Now I'm down to whatever. Yeah, 30 minutes per video I'm doing, and you can get faster as well. And then you need to decide how you do it. If you have 1 day of production, let's call it production day, and you do the videos for a week, or maybe more, or whether you do 1 video per day, but then I would do it for the next day, because the earlier you kind of go live, the better it is. And then you will see. Speaking about AI, I'm highly reluctant of using it unless you have it fully trained in your own sandbox to emulate your speech and your tone of voice. Otherwise, you always get those generic things that everybody produces, and that is not the goal I would have in producing thought leadership content, because it's highly generic and everybody is getting the same results. So AI can be used to probably get a basic skeleton of what you want to say, but the specific content needs to be done by yourself. Otherwise, you're replaceable. In the general situation right now, let's call it like that, because everybody is doing it. You see so much personal branding efforts, and a lot of that is, you can tell it's AI generated, because there is no specific content to it. There is no, you can't learn from that to phrase it like that.
And I use AI every day for support, but not for the content itself. So every single thing that I produce is, because I'm starting with video, I can just use that as input into AI as well. But the video itself, at least for me, what I have seen working best is because humans see that it is not you, or at least the people that know you, they will feel it's not you. That's not how you talk. Even if it's like I have now, I don't know, 3,000 something videos, and they're all in AI. So I'm training AI already on my voice and have the different, like even the different microphones set up. Still, when I do text to speech, it's still you hear it's not me. At least now. I guess it's getting better. Let's see. If I'm there that I say it's better than me, then I will let you know. Then I even
guess,
spend less time.
but what's also, at least for me, a very important point is one of the goals from those videos, at least for me, is getting speaker gigs, right? And you kind of create some kind of expectation from your future audience, and that expectation is based on you. And if you do not have those specific things in the videos that you have when you normally speak, like small breaks, some 10 seconds where you start thinking, and then you have your A's and O's, that makes you the person they are looking for, or you don't have that because it's AI generated, and then you go to speak, and then you're much slower, you're not so fluent in your conversation. That's, well, counterproductive, and most likely you will not get booked again because there's a big gap between what they see on video and how you actually speak in behind.
Yeah, that is super valid point. I mean, you have seen, we have met, for those that don't know, Christian and I met this week, no, last week. Last week in at a conference where I was speaking. So, I mean, maybe you're saying now to complete the opposite. I guess there's not a big difference, me video and me on stage, or?
No, there's not. Apart from on stage, you're farting. Sorry for
Yeah. There was the microphone.
Yeah, that's what you said. No, there's no difference. No.
Yeah. And I think to your point, this authenticity, especially when you are after speaking keynotes, it's super important because then it's not going to work. But well, no, valid point. I mean AI to go on point in the chat. It's developing. We will see. We are using it every day as well for content production, but not for the initial.
Hört ihr mich?
Ja.
Ich war Englisch, huh?
Sorry.
I'm still in a bar. Is it too loud?
Danke.
No, it's okay.
Fine. So, I mean, I was like utterly surprised yesterday because I would go like alongside your argumentation, definitely. But the technology, what I tried to, so read again what I wrote. The technology is at the stage now that you do a recording of your authentic voice with your A's and O's and stumbling and getting back in your thoughts. I have seen it yesterday, and it was like really hard to fathom that on this voice recording, the preset avatar was mapped on top of it, and it was even doing gestures as I do right now. And even like this moving of eyebrows and stuff. So the voice is super authentic because it's a live recording, but then the avatar was mapped on it. So, and you don't have this stumbling or this weird robotic things. But the video was put on top of the voice, not the voice generated out of deposits of like voice recordings and then generated. So you could use that, and it was very impressive. Then it even was like showcasing the words you were speaking as like full sentences. You can cut out the sentence you did not want to have mentioned there, and it was automatically editing the video.
Yeah.
So it's like it was like the technology now is like so super advanced, and if you are interested, it's an old acquaintance of mine. He just like he did it like for me the most impressive AI course for freelancers, and it fits very well to this topic of omnipresence and how he put all the apps together who have really like pushed the button campaigns about something where he just like lets the AI generate the scripts, generate the videos and so forth. And in such a quality, you see it here and there, but I mean, this is the development that just like occurred in the last 2 years. Yeah. And I bet like in half a year, in 1 year, we are at the point you cannot discern anymore. At least on the
It's
student.
super fun. If you, I mean, would love to learn more about that. If you can
I
share.
will
Yeah.
post it's a recording of the video yesterday. It was like
Yeah.
for me like one of the most insightful, and there's an introduction to, I would say, like 30 apps, 30 AI
Yeah.
applications. I put it here in the chat. It's of course it's a sales event, but it was like 2.5 very insightful hours. I was like very happy to listen entirely.
Yeah, yeah. Very cool. Thank you.
What I understand is that you can be authentic through your avatar.
I think like we stick a lot to voice, and if you have done like a couple of recordings before, and it knows a bit your gestures, because I mean the AIs will like learn how to copy, like, you know, like the body language in a way, and even with this little refined like accelerations and stops and like tilting your head and all that stuff, and the results yesterday were already like wow. And I think it's going to be, probably it will mess up us in the future because we cannot discern anymore if someone is real or not. And if everybody is like walking into omnipresence, the question is like, what happens to our capability to filter and differentiate? You know, like if
Agree.
everybody goes like full scale,
Then you go back into real life, and then it's like, hey,
Yeah.
you're different.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, no, agree.
And
But it's still just between us here. It's like how many people are really that crazy and do this on that level like I do even. And I'm like nobody in this. It's not many people.
There's not many people, but I think those that understand the possibilities, they really excel in the game.
Agree. 100%.
Because I was just like talking to a friend, I'm like hanging out here in our co-working cafe. And we were wondering about these people that just totally leveraged their Instagram followership by 400% in just a couple of months or something. You know, and it's
Yeah.
possible now, but you have to hack the system. So there's like technology now to do that more easy than before.
Yeah, it is. The question is always, does it lead to where you want to go to?
Of course, that's a good question.
That maybe goes back to Andre's comment in the beginning, like why even doing it?
Like the why has to be clear, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people that are focusing on the money train only. And they do things for a certain amount of time, and they can't do anything anymore with the whole audience because it's burned. Same like, yeah. Everyone needs to figure that out for themselves. But I'm definitely going to watch the 2 hours.
No, it's I'm really for the optimization and like turning it into processes and optimize and like support all the things. So it was like, yeah, as I say, like I mean, I should become an advertiser and take commissions. So it was like very insightful. But there's a lot of experience. You can also see what speaks from.
Yeah.
so
Try
is
and
it in
error.
German or French?
In German, the most
Ah.
well-known language in the world.
Nah, not so well, no.
But I
I'll
think,
skip
I mean,
it.
you can, I think there's even an AI and you can dub it.
Yeah,
So,
for
but
sure.
otherwise it's like totally worth to extract. I have like, I mean, if I could just send you the links, I could send you the links to the all the applications, and then you ask Perplexity, like put them in relation and give me a manual how to use them in the right sequence. So that's probably also done in a minute.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can copy the link in and ask for a translation of the video already.
Certainly, I guess.
Yeah. Cool. Any more questions, concerns, thoughts? Omnipresence.
I think that Goran mentioned in the context of omnipresence AI. I mean, it's a link to the question I had earlier. Well, are you not overwhelmed? And you said your option is like, I have a team. In the beginning, it was, I was spending more time. Now I have a team. And I guess the team is now a team of AI agents that can emulate you. You can somehow guide their authenticity, control their authenticity, and use the avatars when you cannot duplicate yourself. So it's kind of more of a Westworld type of dilemma than
for me, Omni is still inside of Omni is the physical.
right? In
I
the
mean, we
center,
have
if
not
you-
met yet in person, Andre, but we're going to in the future. And
I'm counting on
and
that.
for me, in real life is still the most important thing. Digital is just like when you can't meet in person and you can like accelerate the connections and keep staying in touch. But I think physical is still the biggest game changer. Like having a beer with Christian last week in Amsterdam, it's 10 times better than just being on a call with him.
Yeah, it's human.
So
Human
if
interaction.
we think about Omni, it's not just the digital. Omni is everywhere. So I think it's also having the authenticity in the same way that you have digital and in the physical. I know people, maybe that's a good point to that. I know people that you think they're the masters when you see them online and then you meet them in person. It's like, holy fuck, you're a completely different person. Because you're playing a game online. You see that a lot. So yeah, everyone needs to decide that for themselves. Good.
My last question, I
Yeah.
promise, would be how much did it help having the how much did it help with the keynote speaking exercise, so the public
Huge.
speaking?
That's the
The fact that
biggest
you
thing.
were doing videos.
Yeah. So I mean, I do videos for a while already, but especially this year when I started the daily video, I don't know why, but daily somehow is triggering more. I have keynote speeches every month, and most of them are paid, and pretty much well paid, I have to say.
What are you talking about
On what?
in your keynotes?
I mean, what I am talking. So I am talking about leadership, organizational development, personal branding, like exactly what I talk about inside of my videos. So not much different. So last week was leading with impact or leadership with impact. How do you measure leadership and why do you measure leadership? Why does it make sense? Then in Zurich, it was leading with impact, funnily enough. And then the month before was organizational development. So how do you combine innovation with human aspects? Which is different word for leading with impact. No, yeah, that's my topics. And that's you don't see that in an individual video that just goes throughout because everything that I stand for, and that's more the representation I have as a total brand, that's what people are booking me for. So it's not one single, okay, you talk about leadership here, you talk about personal branding there, it's more the totality. And of course, with that comes like my history on what I've done over the last 20, 30 years. And that plays a role, obviously, in that as well. It's always these two things, credibility and visibility. And you use both to do that. And it's just if you do videos, you are more visible and they understand if you can talk or not. Normally, if you can hold an audience and so on stage.
Yeah, I think this inspires me to start right away.
I haven't even said the numbers yet, but I can tell you it works.
No,
Seriously.
I see it's just, yeah, omnipresence is like the matter of penetration, right?
It is. And it sounds weird because I'm not money driven at all, but people throw money at you for keynotes where you would say I would have done it for free and they pay you like a lot of money. Let's say so
Great.
it definitely works. And I mean it's everything that we do in this community helps you to do that. Is then maybe some tactic specifics when we go into how do you do lead conversion. So lead conversion is then not going to be paid clients, but how do you use that for getting attractive to get speaking engagements? But in the
Yeah,
end, it's the same mechanics.
That's where I want to go, yeah. Great.
Good.
I have to sneak out.
Yeah.
Jens, we have an appointment Thursday morning.
Okay. I don't know yet.
I know.
You have booked a slot. Good. Let's
Yeah.
talk.
30 minutes ago he did.
Okay. Sis
Exactly.
Rolut is checking my calendar.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you too. Good then. See you next Monday for those that are joining next Monday again.
Yep.
And if there's anything in between, ask questions in the community. You're welcome to do posts as well. Everyone is free. I'm posting way too much, I know. But
What is the topic next Monday?
what is it? Good question. Let me check. Next Monday. Oh, you will love it. Getting paid for keynotes.
I'm already in there. Great.
And then afterwards we go again into more a career topic. Because Sarah asked me.
Do we get this automatically? Because for this one, of course, I'm just joining now. I had to go in the system and register. Do we get
No,
like a reminder or a pop-up that says
you
next
can.
week?
I can quickly show.
I have a call with Faustine tomorrow.
yeah.
I will show you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Yeah.
Perfect.
True, you booked the onboarding. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
You're welcome. See you tomorrow.
Good.
Yeah. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You too. Ciao.
Yeah.